Chapter 21. Death is coming. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The elevator moved upwards. Due to inertia, people would feel like they were falling. Normally, it was nothing. But the problem lies in Luo Qianxiang. He has some problem with his stomach. The elevator went up. Luo Qianxiang clamped his legs. He held the elevator handrails in a strange position. Ah. From Luo Qianxiang's resentment points plus 1000. The elevator stopped on the second floor. Jiang Nan pretended to stick his head out and look at the lights in the corridor. In fact, he was laughing crazily in his heart. Didn't you want to mess with me? Didn't you bully my sister? Today, I will let you experience what was called despair. The elevator door closed again. Luo Qianxiang looked at Jiang Nan with a fierce look. But it was not important. Because the elevator door was stainless steel, it was reflective. Luo Qianxiang saw a big bald head with a big blue and purple bag on the top of its head. He was stunned on the spot. Holy sh*t. Who was this big idiot with a ferocious expression, sweat, and sharp horns? Wasn't this him? Luo Qianxiang exploded. From Luo Qianxiang, resentment points plus 1000. The list of resentment points was refreshed crazily. He had already guessed that there was something wrong with the cup of soy milk he drank this morning. His heart exploded with anger. Who the hell was messing with him? He was about to flip out on the spot, but the elevator moved. My dear Mother Maria. Luo Qianxiang's grip deformed the elevator handrails. Jiang Nan could even hear Luo Qianxiang gritting his teeth. 10. Isn't that a little too fierce? The elevator went up and stopped per floor. Luo Qianxiang resisted the urge to release himself to his heart's content and watched the elevator all the way to the 32nd floor. Along the way, the resentment points never stopped. He was about to see the dawn of victory. At this time, Jiang Nan calmly took out his phone and made a call. At the same time, there was a crack sound. The entire Luo Group building had a blackout. The elevator was stuck between the 32nd and 33rd floors. Luo Qianxiang widened his eyes, f*ck. The young lady was a little flustered at first, but she immediately calmed down and dialed the emergency number in the elevator. Okay. It will be repaired in half an hour. Okay. Luo Qianxiang was stunned when he heard this. What? Half an hour? I'm already on the verge of sh*t, alright. He immediately put down his hand from the elevator handle. He said fiercely to the two people, both of you, turn around. The young lady had a puzzled look on her face. What happened to young Master Luo today? Jiang Nan suddenly had a bad premonition in his heart. His face was full of horror. sh*t, it can't be. Could this guy be? Luo Qianxiang couldn't care so much, he couldn't hold on for half an hour. You damn pervert. The young lady's face immediately turned red, and she quickly turned around. Under Jiang Nan's horrified gaze, Luo Qianxiang crouched down and started the fight. Jiang Nan said, f*ck me. He quickly opened the alternate dimension and took out the gas mask he had prepared beforehand. He even handed one to the young lady. Then, he took out his phone and turned on the video recording mode. The young lady was going crazy. What was this situation? Anti-poison mask. Little brother, were you serious? With the sound of gongs, drums, and firecrackers ringing together, Luo Qianxiang finally revealed a relieved expression. She never thought that young Master Luo would do this in the company elevator. Along with the screams of the young lady, Luo Qianxiang finally noticed Jiang Nan, who took out the gas mask in the alternate dimension and was recording him. How could he not understand what was going on? There were no more than 10 people in the world who had the space ability. Jiang Nan. Damn you. I want you to die without a burial place. Ah. Luo Qianxiang was really going crazy and wanted to take action on the spot, but in the current situation, he could not get up at all. Jiang Nan sneered, "You should take care of yourself first." At the same time, the brothers in the security room who were watching the surveillance were stunned. They quickly called their colleagues and came over to take a look. Then, a broadcast came from the entire Luo Group building, "Comrade in the elevator. Please pay attention to your manners. What's going on? What happened to the elevator? You don't know. There's a fierce person in the elevator. It's like this. Really? Awesome, awesome. What a talent, brother. Anyway, there was a power outage, and the staff had nothing to do, so many people went to watch the fun." Luo Qianxiang clenched his teeth, took off his short sleeves, and covered his face. At this time, he could only cover his face. "Jiang Nan. You will pay the price for this." Jiang Nan narrowed his eyes and said, "Heh. I told you before, dogs should also bite and not only bark. Don't bother Zhou Mingxue anymore. And don't play tricks behind her back. Otherwise, this video will appear on all the big news platforms." Luo family of the Luo Group black material, I think many people want it. Even though Luo Qianxiang hated Jiang Nan so much that his teeth itched, he had no way to deal with him. You have your background, I have my story. It's not very hard, but you better not touch it. With that, Jiang Nan teleported away from the elevator. Only the young lady wearing a gas mask doubted life in the elevator. Luo Qianxiang, who had been rescued, only had 3 things in his mind. Should I tell my father? Should I move overseas? Should I say goodbye to this world? After returning to his office, Luo Qianxiang locked himself in the bathroom and refused to come out. After a full 3 hours, Luo Qianxiang walked out feeling refreshed. No matter how much he hated Jiang Nan in his heart, he could only contact someone to stop the case of the acquisition of the housing area. There was no way. Now, the evidence was in Jiang Nan's hands. If he provoked him, he would really be done for. Jiang Nan. Don't let me catch you. Luo Qianxiang's teeth were itchy, and this was the second time he had suffered a loss. The aunt who cleaned up began to suspect life after she finished cleaning the elevator. Now, she was going to the bathroom in the office next. The moment she pushed the door open, she was stunned. Because the toilet was broken. The broken porcelain pieces scattered all over the ground as if a grenade had blown them up. This. Was young Master Luo really that powerful? He could even break a toilet bowl just by going to the toilet. These martial spirit warrior were really too powerful. Little did she know. The vigorous potion had a miraculous effect and matched with detoxification small soybeans. Luo Qianxiang was the first lucky person in the world to experience the effect. Jiang Nan, who was walking on the road, sighed. It turns out that the shit was really going to jump the wall. Back in the car, Xia Yao was excitedly waiting for Jiang Nan to come back. How is it? Did I make it in time when I pulled the brakes? Jiang Nan smiled, "Perfect." TL notes. He wanted to say perfect in English, at least Luo Qianxiang will be obedient for a long time. Xia Yao curiously came over and asked, "What did you do when you went in? Why did you ask me to pull the switch for?" Jiang Nan smirked and said, "Do you really want to know?" Xia Yao nodded like a chick pecking at rice, "I want to see it." Then, Jiang Nan played the video he had just recorded. Xia Yao. Xiao Nan. You are too ruthless. She had already gone mad from laughing. Now I feel a little pity for this guy. But I feel relieved. Who let him bully Xiaoxue? Jiang Nan laughed, "I have no choice. Who made me the bad man in the legend?" Chapter 22. Wong Kai's Happy Dog Life. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Send it to me. Xia Yao urged. Jiang Nan could not persuade her, so he had to pass it to her. On the way home, Xia Yao said with a serious face, "Seriously, Jiang Nan. Consider coming to our team. For martial spirit warrior to explore the spirit ruins, having you can trust in the team can guarantee your safety. We will kick away that Luo Tianxiang and Han Cheng who are the same as him. When your spatial ability grows, your combat strength will definitely be off the charts, and you will be invincible. Your sister will also be happy if you join." Jiang Nan scratched his head. "I am willing, but I am already in my 3rd year, so I can't transfer to another school, right?" Xia Yao said Factly, "Why not? I'll do it for you." Jiang Nan knew that Xia Yao was ready to use her money. "But if you suddenly join the class, your reputation is not good. Songjiang Martial Spirit is a very competitive school that values strength very much. If you really want to come, fight for it yourself." Jiang Nan was stunned. "Fight? How? Your Jiang City First Middle School can have 3 exchange students every semester. The top 3 will be sent to our school for key training. As long as you can get into the top 3 in the final exam, it will be fine." Jiang Nan's eyes lit up. It was a good idea. However, Jiang Nan had never participated in the final test of their school. As a top student, Jiang Nan could still try to be the first in his age if he tried hard. However, the worst thing was that there would be an actual combat test for martial spirit at the end. Of course, it was not a match between students. Instead, it was to enter the spirit ruins to hunt spirit beasts. The problem was that Jiang Nan had never entered the spirit ruins for 3 years in school. The spirit ruins closest to Jiang City is in Changbai Mountain. It states that only those below the 5th level of black iron can enter. He didn't even know what a spirit beast looked like. There's still 1 month left before the final exam. "Xiaonan, you have to work hard." As she spoke, Xia Yao leaned close to Jiang Nan's ear and gently blew on it. "If you take first place in your age group, I will give you a big reward." A unique fragrance of a young girl entered Jiang Nan's nose. It made him tremble violently. Jiang Nan, watch the road while driving. Xia Yao. From Xia Yao's resentment points plus 333. I'll think about it. Xia Yao, if you can't, you can move in. Xiao Xue and I rented a villa outside. Your little black iron 7. Ha! When did you reach black iron 10 star? Her voice suddenly rose 3 degrees. Jiang Nan rubbed his nose. There's no other way. I tried a little. I don't want to work hard, but you don't want me either. Xia Yao looked at Jiang Nan with a reproachful look. She was still very shocked in her heart. He was still a black iron 7 star the last time they had dinner together. It had only been a few days, and he was already a black iron 10 star. Was his talent really at E grade? How many secrets are you hiding? This is for you. See if you can break through to bronze rank. You can have more confidence in the final exam. As she spoke, she was met with Jiang Nan's stunned gaze. She stuffed her hand into her chest, took out 2 spiritual beads from them, and stuffed them into Jiang Nan's hand. Feeling the spiritual beads that were still warm, Jiang Nan swallowed his saliva. I've gained a lot of knowledge. I've only seen this scene in animations. This was legendary. Storage chest. A ravine in the chest. Xia Yao blushed. What kind of messy animations do you watch every day? This spiritual bead is very expensive, okay? It must be kept well. More than 200,000 for one. The Martial Spirit Association has strict regulations. It is difficult for you to find a way to sell it. Jiang Nan nodded seriously. Only Sister Xia Yao. Others don't have the capital to hide spiritual beads like this. Xia Yao, dot. Jiang Nan even raised it and placed it in front of her nose to sniff it. And it was quite fragrant. Ah, Ednl.co, from Xia Yao's resentment points plus 333. She already regretted giving the spiritual bead to Jiang Nan. After kicking Jiang Nan off the car, Xia Yao said fiercely, "If you don't take first place, see how I deal with you." Jiang Nan, who was in the small alley, shook his head and laughed as he watched the car leave. The spiritual bead in his hand was emitting a burst of red light. It was a spiritual bead with attributes and had reached the bronze grade. Attribute spiritual beads were produced from spirit beasts, which have strong combat power and are extremely difficult to obtain. Their value would naturally rise. Martial Spirit Warrior, who had awakened the 5 elemental abilities, had a miraculous effect in absorbing spiritual beads of the corresponding attributes. For special abilities like Jiang Nan, absorbing spiritual beads had the same effect even with no attributes. It was not that there were no spatial spiritual beads. It was just that they were scarce, and it was tough for the current Jiang Nan to obtain them. A fire spiritual bead, it should be something that Xia Yao prepared to give to Sister Shui. Bronze rank, let's give it a try. It was rare for Jiang Nan not to go to the night market today but to go home and absorb the spiritual beads. After absorbing the 2 spiritual beads, it was already past 7 in the evening. His cultivation was still at black iron rank 10 stars. Jiang Nan rubbed his head. It seemed that the bottleneck was not easy to break through. Jiang Nan suddenly thought of something and chuckled. He took out a bundle of Reiki leek from the system inventory and started to fiddle with it. Then, he went to the courtyard at the side. He crouched down and greeted, "Wang Kai. Come." A Shiba Inu jumped out from the kennel in the corner and stuck out its tongue as it came over to him intimately. "Woof, U.Omega.U." Jiang Nan took out a ham sausage from his trouser pocket and handed it over. He touched its head. With a face full of emotion, he said, "Look at how miserable you are. I've lived here for 3 years, but I haven't seen you find a wife. A single dog is really a hammer. It's a big deal to take over the family. I really can't stand it anymore. I'll help you. Don't thank me." Wang Kai enjoyed the meal, and its little tail was wagging very fast. It didn't notice that there was a leak in the middle of the ham sausage it ate. Uncle Wang, who was next door, said, "Xiaonan hasn't eaten yet, right? Why don't you come to our house to eat?" Jiang Nan coughed twice and quickly said, No need, no need." He ran away with a guilty face and went back to the yard to lie on the wall to observe Wang Kai's reaction. Wang Kai went back to the kennel for a while, and soon he stood up. "Woof! Woof! Dot!" He rushed out of the kennel and kicked up a cloud of dust in the alley. He rushed to Auntie Zhou's courtyard, and a pair of big embarrassing eyes fixed on Guo lying under the tree. A snow-white pug. Whether Guo was willing or not, a vicious dog rushed forward. Guo. Wang Kai, woof. Guo, woof. Zhou Yuqing, who was picking vegetables in the courtyard, stared at the 2 dogs in the yard for more than 10 seconds. Then, her face turned red to the tips of her ears. "Zhou Yuqing, Mom. Our Guo is." Jiang Nan went back to the house with a relieved face. "Wang Kai. You have to work hard." Chapter 23. Would you respect our profession? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Nan, who was lying on the bed, scrolled through Weibo for a while. He found that his fans had risen to more than 30,000. And 3 of them had given him special concern. One was called "Listen to Snow," it was Zhou Ningxue. And the other one was called "Solitary Moonlight Wolf." "Sister Xia Yao, listen to me. Can you stop being so chuyuni?" Another one was the anchor named Su Yuan, who sent himself a private letter, "Brother, why didn't you go to the stall today? Did your backyard well dry up?" Jiangnan. He casually replied, I will go tonight, remember to come. When the time comes, I will teach you how to kick durians. From Su Yuan's resentment value plus 888. TSK, playing with me. After thinking about it, Jiangnan changed his Weibo name to. It's been so hard for me, he posted his first Weibo post. It's been so hard for me. A minute ago, from the iPhone 11 Pro Max. If you have the ability, click on it. Humph, carrot, you have the ability. PS, new target. First in school final examination. Not long after, there was a bunch of replies. Wasting my feelings. The stall owner is inhumane. F***ck, I knew he was a student. Little brother. Why didn't you come today? I missed you. I drove 250 kilometers to Jiang City night market today. I wanted to buy a bottle of Vigorous potion. But you didn't come. Listen to Snow, Xiaonan, you can do it. Solitary moonlight wolf, ... Pinch your flesh. Jiangnan smiled brightly. This was the first time he really wanted to do something. For himself, also for Zhongying Xue and Xiaoyao. Jiangnan, who had put away his mobile phone, had already wanted to sleep. But who knew that all the dogs in this area had exploded? All kinds of strange cries and howls came out in the middle of the night. The culprit was Uncle Wang's, Wang Kai. Zhou Yuqing's Guoguo was just the beginning of Wang Kai's happy dog life. After dealing with Guoguo, Wang Kai did not stop. He went to Aunt Lu's house again and attacked a wolf dog named Lai Fu. After an entire night, it didn't stop. Wang Kai ran through 108 houses and conquered all the little female dogs in the alley. In the morning, many people came to Uncle Wang's door. Uncle Wang. Can you take care of your Wang Kai? Last night, my tutu shouted in ecstasy. Isn't that right? The three of us didn't sleep the entire night. Wang Kai. Wang Kai is too fierce. The woman nudged her husband. Look at Wang Kai. Then look at you. Damn it, don't you know how to learn from it? The man, ... Uncle Wang was also stunned. What was going on? In the end, he saw Wang Kai leisurely strolling in the alley. Behind him were more than 10 female dogs ranging from Tibetan Mastiffs to Chihuahuas. The variety was so vast that it made people gasp in amazement. They saw Wang Kai bring a group of female dogs to stroll from house to house. The corners of this dog's mouth rose, revealing Shiba Inu's iconic smile. Those male dogs were so angry that they shouted at Wang Kai. The more they shouted, the happier Wang Kai was. This was the so-called peak of dog life. Jiangnan secretly gave a thumbs up. Wang Kai. Good job. The strength of Reiki Leak's effect made Jiangnan's heart beat. Should he have a plate of chives and eggs? At present, it seems that Wang Kai did not show any abnormalities. However, when he thought of Vigorous potion and detoxification small soybeans, Jiangnan shivered. It was better to observe for 2 more days. At night, Jiangnan appeared at Jiang City's night market on time. In addition to 10 bottles of Farmer's 3 Punches on the stall, there was also a bag of detoxification small soybeans. Reiki Leak hasn't been taken it out yet because he decided to figure out the side effects first. 10 bottles of Farmer's 3 Punches were sold out as soon as he appeared. Vigorous potion's popularity was beyond Jiangnan's imagination. With Su Yuan's publicity, plus the fermentation of Weibo, business was so good that it exploded. Unexpectedly, Baldy Chong and Scar Face were still unwilling to give up. They didn't bring so many people with them this time. The two of them followed behind a muscular man with smiles on their faces. The muscular man had a black half-sleeve and a pair of tight-fitting jeans. He was nearly 2 meters tall and had muscles that looked like they were carved with knives and axes. He had bronze skin and a fierce look. He gave off a strong sense of oppression. Be Nov calm moreover, he didn't look very old. He didn't come yesterday. Are you sure he's here today? Brother Scar guaranteed, don't worry young Master Wu. I've already asked around for you. Baldy Chang chuckled, young Master Wu, I'm counting on you this time. Wu Liang clenched his fists and grinned, if we don't teach him a lesson, he will think that there is no one in our group that matches him. When he arrived at the stall, he was stunned, Nan Shen. Wu Liang was stunned. He was also from Jiang City First Middle School, how could he not know Jiang Nan? He did not expect that the person these two little brothers were talking about was Jiang Nan. He immediately laughed sinisterly. Motherf asterisk Ker. Jiang Nan had ruined the monthly tester machine last time. This led to Wu Liang not being tested at all. Otherwise, how would it be Martial Spirits Class 1's turn to be proud? It was an excellent opportunity to kill his prestige. Let Jiang Nan know who was the real boss of Jiang City. He immediately came to the stall. Jiang Nan felt a shadow enveloping him. He saw Wu Liang, Scar Face, and Baldy Chang when he looked up. In his heart, how could he not know that this person was looking for trouble with him? Hey! I'm Class 2 Wu Liang, I came to find you today because I wanted to. But before Wu Liang could finish speaking, he suddenly heard a sentence. Brother! You finally came. I'm Zheng Wei. Jiang Nan was stunned. He raised his hand and said, wait a minute, you three. Wu Liang, Scarface, Baldy Chang, Wait a minute. We are here to find trouble. You said to wait. From Wu Liang's resentment value plus 888. From Scarface's resentment value plus 666. In the end, it was still the bald Zheng Wei who came over with two little sisters. Wu Liang looked at the two little sisters looking at him curiously and could not help but lower his head slightly. Jing Jing, this person is so tall and strong. Don't you like this type? Ah. What are you saying? Wu Liang was embarrassed to mess up the scene. He just sneered at Jiang Nan and thought about how to deal with him later. Zheng Wei felt a sense of familiarity when he saw Jiang Nan. Jiang Nan was a little stunned when he saw Zheng Wei. Brother. You don't know. Because I drank Farmer's 3 punches, this wave of entering the spirit ruins can be considered to have taken off. The harvest is simply explosive. Haha. That's right. We came over yesterday, but we couldn't find you. A little sister said sweetly. I've only been thinking about you for the past few days. I don't even think about food. Wu Liang's face darkened. Jiang Nan. I'm here to find you today. Wait a moment. Jiang Nan waved his hand impatiently. We're here to beat you up. Can't you show some respect to our profession? Can you give me some face? You are making me embarrassed now, okay? From Wu Liang's resentment points plus 999. Chapter 24. Short Spear to Long Spear. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. But with the two little sisters by his side, Wu Liang was still too embarrassed to flare up. Zheng Wei raised his eyebrows and said, is there still Farmer's 3 punches being sold? I still want to buy some more. Jiang Nan chuckled. The business was coming. What's wrong? Aren't you afraid of being baldy all the time? Zheng Wei, being bald is nothing. Increasing strength is the most important thing. I'm a strength-type awakener and with Farmer's 3 punches, it's a perfect match. Jiang Nan understood. Zheng Wei had a sweet taste. It shouldn't be like this, wouldn't it mean that he wouldn't be able to earn resentment points if he played like this? He shouldn't sell. However, he still asked, how much do you want? Zheng Wei said without thinking, 100 bottles. Jiang Nan stared, sell. Why wouldn't I sell it? What F** king resentment value? Money. What I want was money. Zheng Wei could be said to be beaming with joy. Jiang Nan directly took out 3 bottles of vigorous potion from the alternate dimension. Zheng Wei was shocked. What he was shocked about was not the vigorous potion, but Jiang Nan's space ability. Even the 2 little sisters covered their mouths with their hands, their faces full of surprise. Space system. This was as shocking as seeing a large gold brick when walking. How many space ability users were there in the world? In the end, they met one on the street. This couldn't be a real god, right? 3 barrels for 1 million. The surplus will be counted as a gift to you. How about it? TL notes. The system gives him a barrel of vigorous potion, and Jiangnan transfer it to a smaller bottle, so it cost only 10,000. Zheng Wei had just woken up from his shock. Okay. Okay. I'll transfer the money to you right now. Jiangnan was excited. 1 million. That was 1 million. He had never seen so much money in his life. Although he only had 10,000 left after being divided by the system. But he had at least once owned it. I once had. Wu Yang's eyes nearly popped out of their sockets. What the hell? A third-year student setting up a stall to talk about 1 million. This was not the main point. The main point was that you were selling 3 barrels of mineral water for 1 million. What kind of water was that? Wu Yang was a little confused, his worldview collapsing. Brother. Are you still buying? My uncle runs a mineral water company. How about a barrel for 100,000 yuan? Jiangnan. I'm looking for you. Jiangnan glared at him. Why are you repeating what you said earlier? Indeed. The essence of humans is repeaters. Wu Yang exploded on the spot. Repeaters. Have you ever seen such a strong repeater? Ah, my little temper. They heard a tearing sound. The black half-sleeve on Wu Yang's upper body was directly burst. A wave of savage aura rose from his body. Black and shiny fur grew on his bare skin. His entire body becomes a half-human and half-bear. Half-bear, cries of alarm came from the crowd. After all, the beast transformation on the spot was extremely shocking. It was like a werewolf transformation, but the former was a wolf transformation, and Wu Yang was a bear. At this moment, Jiangnan was a little curious. Xia Yao could transform into a half-beast or completely into a wolf. What would she look like when she transformed? Anticipation. Jiangnan raised his eyebrows. Follow me. As he spoke, he walked towards a dark alley to the side. Wu Yang revealed his sharp fangs and cracked his paws. Humph. At least you know how to behave. Zheng Wei and the 2 little sisters were a little worried. Brother, how about I? Jiangnan waved his hand without turning his head. Help me keep an eye on the stall. Zheng Wei was a little worried. The early stage of the space system is very fragile. That black bear is very strong. Little sister, huh? What do you know? You will win if you have a good face. Zheng Wei. Jiangnan gave up on the advantage of standing on the stall, but he was not courting death. Instead, he wanted to see what level he had reached. To prepare for the next final exam. This Wu Yang's strength of a 3-star bronze rank was enough to be an opponent. Wu Yang laughed sinisterly in the alley. I wanted to test you for a long time. Don't worry. I won't let you die a miserable death. In the end, what greeted him was a red brick flying towards him. Bang! With a bang, the brick smashed into his bare face, shattering it. Fuck! Wu Yang cursed loudly and arrived in front of Jiangnan in 2 steps. The bear claw clenched into a fist and smashed down with a violent air-breaking sound. Boom! Cracks spread out like spider webs on the wall. The huge force shook the street lamps 3 times. Wu Yang was stunned. Where was the figure of Jiang Nan in front of him? He saw Jiang Nan teleport and silently arrive behind Wu Liang. The brick in his hand slammed down on the back of Wu Liang's head. Was this young master's brick-slapping proficiency in vain? The brick shattered, and Wu Liang's mind went blank. He turned around and punched. Jiang Nan used both hands to receive it, punching and doing a beautiful shoulder throw. Wu Liang's huge body was fiercely thrown out, smashed the street lamp, and crashed into the wall. Before he could come back to his senses, pieces of bricks that were like cannonballs had already flown over. Baldy Chong and Scar Face were shocked stupid. Damn! They were all throwing knives, flying needles, flying stones, and so on. And yet you were throwing bricks. You were really something. Wu Liang got up to attack again. His fist smashed down like a cannonball. However, he couldn't even touch the corner of Jiang Nan's clothes. The elusive teleportation was simply terrifying. Wu Liang also realized how terrifying Jiang Nan was at this moment. His strength was very strong. His combat awareness was superb. His movements were not sloppy at all. How could he be so strong? Wu Liang knew that he wouldn't be able to handle it without using his true strength. With a loud shout, he actually transformed again. He directly tore his pants apart and transformed into a big black bear nearly 4 meters tall. His eyes emitted a fierce light. This kind of pressure was terrifying. However, in the face of the bear paw coming at him, Jiang Nan was stunned. It was not because of anything else, but because he saw something between Wu Liang's waist and abdomen. Could his beast transform into a beast as well? A short cannon transformed into a spear. This was too strong. Brother! Don't be shameless. Why don't you put on some underpants? If you swing this thing in battle, they will be distracted if they were a person, right? This scene could not be erased in Jiang Nan's mind. It was simply spiritual pollution. Jiang Nan did not know that Wu Liang did not want to fight naked. Because he didn't have such a big pair of underpants to wear. A normal 2-meter tall giant turned into a 4-meter long black bear. No underpants could withstand it. Normally, he didn't dare turn into a complete beast form in school. But he was out of option today. The wall was directly smashed open with a palm strike by Wu Liang. Jiang Nan teleported to the side of the fallen street lamp, picked up the street lamp pole, and held it horizontally in front of him. Triggers kill. Spear level 0. Additional skill points. 100, skill. Spear, proficient. Level 0. Countless spear moves appeared in Jiang Nan's mind as if he had been immersed in it for decades. He immediately threw out a beautiful spear thrust and fiercely thrust towards Wu Liang. A piercing sound was heard. Bring it on. Big Black Bear. Back then, there was Wu Song Fights the Tiger. TL notes. It was a book called Wu Song Fights the Tiger. The interaction of oral and written traditions in the Chinese novel, drama, and storytelling by Vibeke Bordel. Today, I, Jiang Nan, am fighting the black bear. Chapter 25. What kind of player is this? You are listening at novelfull.audio. The streetlight spear brought with it an ear-piercing sound as it ruthlessly struck Wu Liang's body. Bang! Wu Liang felt as if he had been hit by a truck. After transforming into a beast, Jiang Nan sent his nearly 800 catty body flying. He almost couldn't catch his breath and grimaced in pain. Just as he was about to get up and fight again, he saw Jiang Nan's suffocating operation. The street lamp spear seemed to be alive in Jiang Nan's hands. Chop, smash, stab, prick, all kinds of operations beat Wu Liang until he screamed. There was no power to fight back. Baldy Chong and Scar Face were stunned. Jiang Nan's movements were pleasing to the eye, full of a very wild sense of power. He was comparable to a spear grandmaster. The two of them couldn't help but want to applaud Jiangnan. Pa! The street lamp spear fiercely slapped Wu Yang's bare face. His huge body staggered and fell to the ground. Jiangnan looked at the crooked street lamp in his hand and exclaimed. This Wu Yang beast's defense after transforming was simply terrifying. Even so, he was still struggling to get up. How could Jiangnan give him such a chance? He teleported and sat on Wu Yang, smashing the brick in his hand mercilessly. Why didn't he use his fist? Jiangnan felt his hand hurt. After smashing 20 or so red bricks, Wu Yang finally passed out. Jiangnan panted slightly and scolded, "Damn it." Then, he smiled brightly and looked at the Baldy Chang and Scar face. The two of them shivered with fear. Don't. Brother Nan. I'll do it myself. As he spoke, the scar-faced man slammed into the street lamp beside him. With a crisp bang, the street lamp swayed 3 times, and the scar-faced man fainted. The corner of Baldy Chang's eyes twitched. Brother Scar is Brother Scar. As expected of a veteran. Immediately, his expression hardened, and he also voluntarily slammed his head into the cement wall next to him. Damn it. His head hurt and his face was full of blood, but he didn't faint, so he could only curse in pain. Looking at Jiangnan walking over step by step, Baldy Chang heart become flustered. He raised his head and slammed it again. Bang! The Baldy Chang with a face full of blood, still did not faint. Hit again. Bang! He failed again. Was it that I am not strong enough? Scarface, who was lying on the ground, secretly opened his eyes. Looking at Baldy Chang, who was frantically hitting the wall to knock himself out, he was speechless for a while. This person was a fool. This kid can't take it anymore. When Jiangnan came up to him, Baldy Chang still failed to knock himself out and looked at Jiangnan pitifully. Brother. Brother Nan. Do you want to help me? Jiangnan's face was black, but he still helped him. Baldy Chang fell to the ground. He should have fainted this time. Then, he looked at Wu Yang, who was unconscious on the ground. Then, he subconsciously glanced at his waist and abdomen. Beast transformation. Is really strong. Sigh. I pity you. Who asked me to be kind? He opened the alternate dimension and threw a pair of underpants over as he spoke. When he returned to the stall, Jing Wei was shocked. He had just witnessed the entire battle in the alley. Jiangnan's marksmanship had really shocked him. Brother Nan. Do you accept disciples? The rich kind. Jiangnan. The eyes of the two little sisters were already filled with stars. The battle just now was really too elegant. Jiangnan's spear arts were like flowing water and coupled with his elusive teleportation. So cool. Little brother, do you want that kind of disciple who can be easily knocked down? I want it too. I want to learn that flying brick. It's too cool. Jiangnan was speechless. I'm not a college student yet. I'm only in my 3rd year of middle school. Are you sure you want to take me as your teacher? Zheng Wei's eyes almost popped out. You are in your 3rd year. Little missy, damn. Cough. Pay attention to your image. How could he not have heard of such a fierce 3rd-year student and a space system? Zheng Wei, stop pretending. Even an expert like you likes to keep a low profile. You must be from an ancient martial arts family. Little missy, well, look at little brother's temperament. He is so handsome even with a buzz cut. Oh, just accept me. I want to learn flying bricks. Jiangnan let out a long sigh. Sure enough. Brain patching was the most terrible. He was good looking, and his words were also pleasant to hear. He said with a serious face, in fact, I crossed over from the Centaur galaxy. 20 years ago, I activated the aura recovery and shouldered the heavy responsibility of saving the Earth. From Zheng Wei's resentment value plus 999. From Yuan Yuhan's resentment value plus 666, from Su Jingrou's resentment value plus 765. Hey, hey, hey. Don't go. First disciple, second disciple, third disciple. Jiang Nan, who had returned from the stall, did another 10 consecutive draws. Most of the people who had contributed were Luo Tianxiang and Wu Liang. Looking at the 10 bundles of Reiki leek, Jiang Nan sighed with emotion. This wasn't open yet for business. It had only been 2 days since they last saw each other, but he had already started to think about his cute classmates. Thus, he opened his friend moment. From Li Xiang's moment. Those who are better than me are still working hard. What reason do I have to not work hard? Picture, a clenched fist. There are more than 50 likes below, all kinds of inspirations. Jiang Nan was happy at this time, his fingers moving quickly. Replied, Nan Shen. Those who are better than you are still working hard. Then what's the use of working hard? From Li Xiang's resentment value plus 999. Hey, 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 it was very comfortable. It came from Li Mayan's WeChat moments. I spent the entire weekend cultivating at home. I was so tired that I became a dog. But fortunately, I broke through to 10 stars of black iron. My hard work pays off. There were more than 30 likes below, many cheering, encouraging, and envious replies. Nan Shen. Dogs are really not as tired as you think. Replied below, ha ha ha. What Nan Shen said makes sense. Li Mayan asked, Thinking about it, her dog could sleep and play other than eating. But why was she so angry? From Li Mayan's resentment points plus 666. From Lu Wuchuan's moment. Why do you always retch when you brush your teeth in the morning? Did you smoke too much? Replied below. Me too. Do you have chronic bronchitis? Don't smoke too much. I also vomit when I brush my teeth. Nan Shen. What does it have to do with smoking? Don't brush your teeth in front of the mirror tomorrow morning. I'm sure you don't vomit. From Lu Wutai's resentment value plus 999. From. After brushing a wave, the resentment value was almost enough to draw 10 times in a row. Jiang Nan's eyes were bright. He had simply discovered a new continent. Just as he was about to go all out, he realized that no one had posted in his moment. Where did the students who were full of resentment? Were they afraid of being criticized? Humph. You guys don't want to post. I'll post it myself. From Nan Shen's moments. Heh. That's it. It's already 12 o'clock, and no one has said a happy birthday to me. Click to open the full text. The students were stunned when they saw the WeChat moments posted by Jiang Nan. Was today Jiang Nan's birthday? Was the operation just now to attract the students' attention and increase his sense of existence to see if anyone remembered his birthday? Thinking about it, it was quite pitiful. Thus, the people below all gave their blessings. Nan Shen. Happy birthday. Happy shell.breaking day. Although you made me change my underpants, you still saved my life. Happy, happy, happy. Ingxue, Xiaonan, you still have me. But it's not your birthday today, right? The students were stunned when they saw this reply. So they click on the full text. Maybe it's not my birthday today. If it's not your birthday, why were you so emotional? Can it be any cheaper? What a waste of our feelings. What kind of player were you? From Wang Bei's resentment points plus 666. From. Chapter 26. Nan Shen is a good person. You are listening at novel full.audio. Jiang Nan let out a mischievous laugh through the screen. Looking at Zhong Yingshue's reply, although he had been exposed, a warm feeling still flowed through his heart. The feeling of being remembered was really good. However, Sister Shue's natural dazed look was too cute. Originally, he had wanted to make a move in the class group chat. However, the friends' circle had been forcefully fed with a wave of poisonous chicken soup by Jiang Nan, so they were unable to make any waves. Looking at the list of resentment values that was intermittently refreshed, Jiang Nan slowly fell asleep. But the other households were not so lucky. Wang Kai's happy dog life was still going on. When night fell, there would be a passionate battle, the wailing of ghosts and the howling of wolves. It caused countless people lying in bed to curse in the middle of the night. They can't sleep anyway, so they might as well make a doll. Under the reflection of warm sunlight, Wu Yang, who had his but getting warm, suddenly woke up. At this moment, he had already returned to his human form and his face was swollen. There wasn't even a piece of cloth on his body. The wind blew at his crotch. That was probably it. Wu Yang, who had just opened his eyes, was blinded by the flash. At this moment, a group of people surrounded the entrance of the small alley. Io. Young people nowadays are really bold. This young man has a good capital. A certain ant, slurp. Heh. The ants looked like tigers and wolves. A young lady covered her eyes shyly, but she couldn't help but peek through her fingers. Wu Yang's brain buzzed. Only then did he slowly recall what happened yesterday. He quickly looked around, only to find that the Baldy Chong and Scar face had already disappeared. What the hell? He didn't even have a single piece of clothing. He really couldn't stand the gaze of the young lady. He wanted to find a hole to hide in. At this moment, he suddenly discovered that his naked chest was covered with an underpants. This. Did Nan Shen leave it for me? Repaying evil with good. What a good person. Wu Yang felt touched. Baldy Chong and Scar face ran away. There was nothing left on his body, and in the end, it was Nan Shen who left him underpants. Although these underpants were triangular. It has blue and white striped. There was even lace. There was also a zipper at the back. There was also an English F*** KME word printed on it. Wu Yang couldn't recognize it. But it was at least an underpants. Wu Yang gratefully put on these underpants. It was actually a little comfortable. That was the feeling that the Four Corners had never given him. It was also this day. Wu Yang had changed from the Four Corners sect to the Three Corners sect. The crowd looked at Wu Yang in horror. They quickly opened up a path for him. The cell phone flashed crazily for 10 consecutive shots, and the narrow alley became the avenue of stars. Just like that, Wu Yang went up the street in these underpants with 6 English letters printed on them. Recalling the battle yesterday, Wu Yang's face was solemn. He never thought that the so-called trash Jiang Nan would be so strong. That spear technique, the hand-to-hand combat technique. And the flying brick. Wu Yang felt his blood boil when he thought about it. Sure enough, keeping a low profile was the most awesome thing. The thing he wanted to do the most right now was to find Jiang Nan. In the morning, Jiang Nan came to the classroom. The classroom was silent for a while as always because the poisonous chicken soup last night was choking. As soon as Jiang Nan entered the classroom, the resentment value list began to refresh. Li Xiang still couldn't forget the canon. As for Li Mayan, she was lovelorn. Lu Chuanwu leaned over the table in the morning self-study and played with his phone. He didn't know what he saw, but he burst out laughing. After a while, Jiang Nan's mobile phone vibrated. Opening it, Lu Chuanwu shared a Weibo post with the class group. Is this class 2's Wu Yang? Ha ha ha. I'm freaking laughing my ass off. Is he out of the closet? F***k Is it too convenient to have a zipper? Wu Yang's figure is simply explosive. My god. Are his muscles serious? I love him. You love him. But he doesn't love you. Ha ha ha. Jiang Nan clicked in curiously and saw a scene with spicy eyes. Titles. Shock. An abnormal muscular man has appeared in the Jiang City market on the pedestrian street. Is it the distortion of human nature or the depravity of morality? 9. Grid picture, Wu Liang, who was wearing only a pair of underpants, was walking on the street in public. It could be said that he was walking like a dragon and tiger. He was deep in thought. The comments below also exploded. I admire this brother's courage. I saw him at the roadside stall for breakfast this morning. I even sprayed the soy milk that I'm drinking. Brothers upstairs are doing great work. F***ck soybean milk. That kind of drink costs about 2 yuan a cup. Gay public club, brother, our big family welcomes you. Nanshen, Jiangnan night market underpants are cheap, 2 for 10 yuan of the same style. Jiangnan trembled as he exited Weibo and covered his face with his hand. Last night, he had casually pulled out a pair of underpants for him. He had never expected this. It was actually so popular. Wu Yang really wears it. He even advertised it for him. This wave was not a loss. The teacher patted the blackboard and said, "It's almost time for the final exam." As a member of martial spirit class, the actual combat test is still to go to the Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins in Changbai Mountain. I hope that everyone will group up in advance and make sufficient preparations. The spiritual beads obtained from the spirit ruins will belong to you. It would be great if you could obtain the spiritual beads that contain spiritual skills. The top 10 students will be rewarded with spiritual beads with spirit skills. In order to prepare for the college entrance examination, the time to enter the spirit ruins will be increased from the previous 7 days to half a month. Students should be mentally prepared. The team is not limited to the members of this class. The best group should contain a shield user, magic user, close combat, and field control. In an instant, the class discussion became louder. Tisk, TSK, TSK. The spirit ruins of the Changbai Mountain Lake, a place that people love and hate. Our school isn't good enough. Songjiang Martial Spirit High School started entering their first year. We're just a freebie. Let's not talk about that. Let's think about forming a team. Hee, I'm still with the old team members from last year. We have a tacit understanding. Jiangnan listened silently, but he was thinking about his spiritual skills. There were very few low-level spirit beasts in the spirit ruins that had spirit techniques. It would be extremely difficult to encounter one that corresponded to one's own attribute even if there were. Martial Spirit Warrior could only absorb spirit techniques that corresponded to the attribute of the ability. Every level he rose, he would be able to absorb a type of spirit technique. For example, Jiangnan was a black iron rank. He could only absorb one type of spirit technique, and it had to be a spatial attribute. Although China had a lot of land and spirit ruins. However, there were too few space-type spirit beasts, and the association had strict control over them. With Jiangnan's financial status, he would not be able to obtain them. The only thing he could do was teleport himself. There were also geniuses who had comprehended how to use their abilities. But Jiangnan can't do it. However, he was not worried. There were very few students of the same level who had absorbed spiritual skills. After all, Jiang City First High School was not a proper school to cultivate martial spirit warrior. It was just that Jiangnan did not know if the top 10 rewards would be a space attribute. Chapter 27. Outfit Destroying Demon. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. There was a commotion in the class. Some were busy contacting their old teammates, some talked about the spirit beasts in Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins. Only Jiangnan sat quietly on the windowsill. Why isn't Nanshan looking for teammates? Li Xian sneered, is he that strong? He has awakened his dual element. Does he need a teammate? Lu Chuanwu chuckled and said, isn't that so? Our Nan Shen is the one who destroys the testing machine with one punch. Don't tell me that he thinks that the spirit beasts in the spirit ruins will be as dumb as a testing machine. Haha. Nan Shen has never been to the spirit ruins before. He is not afraid. He can teleport. He is even stronger when it comes to escaping. There is no problem for him to survive. Haha. Let alone killing spirit beasts. I'm afraid that Nan Shen has never even killed a chicken before, right? Trash will always be trash. Double awakening. Heh. What a joke. That's the condition. Only a fool would team up with him. He's just a burden. Listening to the mocking words, Jiang Nan stretched his body. He wondered if he should earn another wave of resentment. The team list needed to be reported in the afternoon. Jiang Nan also did not want to find teammates. Teleportation plus vigorous potion, there were also several skill points. Jiang Nan did not believe that he could not rush out. He wanted to get first place in the school year from the very beginning. The students were waiting to see Jiang Nan make a fool of himself. At this moment, the classroom door was kicked open. Wu Yang, who was wearing a school uniform, barged in. His bruised and swollen face stunned everyone. Where is Jiang Nan? Where is he? He looked around and saw Jiang Nan sitting on the windowsill. He grinned. This smile made the students in the classroom shudder. Damn. I'm afraid Nan Shen is going to be beaten. How did he provoke Wu Yang, this fiend? Is he very powerful? His father is the biggest second-hand car dealer in the north. Well. Used cars, you know. The people on Jiang City Street call Wu Yang Young Master Wu when they see him. Obviously, a good show was about to start. Li Xiang, Lu Chuanwu, and the others could not help but reveal a schadenfreude smile. As for helping, don't joke around. If you don't go up and fight, you were already giving face, okay? Wu Yang walked in front of Jiang Nan with large strides and said with a solemn expression, Nan Shen. Be my big brother. I want to learn from you. Once these words were said, Li Xiang and the others' jaws dropped to the ground because of shock. Learn skills. Recognize as big brother. Weren't you here to teach Jiang Nan a lesson? So you're here to acknowledge him as your master. Your brain must have been flooded with water. What ability does Jiang Nan have? Jiang Nan curled his lips and said, you are not a good bird either. Li Mayan was stunned as if he had never known Jiang Nan before. Was he courting death by speaking so stubbornly to someone like Wu Yang, who was known for his notoriety? Wu Yang shook his head and said, I have investigated the matter clearly. The matter of the barbecue stall was the fault of Baldy Chang and the others. I have already asked someone to teach them a lesson. Something like this will never happen again. I was the bastard last night. Big brother was right. I admit it. Lu Chuanwu was dumbfounded. All the students were dumbfounded. Their faces were stunned. What was going on? Did the two of them fight last night? Was it Jiang Nan who caused Wu Yang to be so miserable this morning? Other than being slightly stronger and being able to teleport, what else could he do? Wu Yang was famous for his strength in the entire school, and he was a powerful fighter. But now, Wu Yang was beaten black and blue, and Jiang Nan seemed fine. But the scene in front of them told them. Everything really happened. Jiang Nan smiled brightly, you are very resistant to beatings. In the Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins, can you help me take the damage? Wu Yang's eyes lit up. He patted his chest and said, leave it to me. As long as I, Wu Yang, am still standing, I will never let you get hurt. Jiang Nan was silent for a moment. Then, he smiled and patted Wu Yang on the shoulder, follow me. The team needs a shield. Wu Yang was a little confused. What team? Isn't Jiangnan alone? Wu Yang did not know. The teammate that Jiangnan was talking about was not at Jiang City First High School. Instead, it was in the Songqing martial spirit. Li Xiang, who was at the side, could not help but say, Wu Yang, think about it carefully. The spirit ruins are very dangerous. Bringing a burden like Jiangnan, wanting to achieve good results is as difficult as ascending the heavens. How could Li Xiang watch Jiangnan join a strong team? Wu Yang suddenly turned around. Rip. His iron dot-like muscles suddenly burst his upper school uniform. His eyes were scarlet, and his fangs were bulging. He grabbed Li Xiang by the collar. *CK watch your mouth. How can you talk to my big brother like that? Li Xiang could not breathe. Facing Wu Yang's scarlet eyes, cold sweat suddenly flowed out. I'm just suggesting. Wu Yang, do you think you can meddle in my affairs? Just as he was about to make a move, Jiangnan kicked Wu Yang on the butt. Come on, come on. You really like to rip off your clothes. Don't you care about the money for your school uniform? Wasn't it a bit expensive for Wu Yang to make a move? Outfit destroying demon. Wu Yang threw Li Xiang out and smashed him on the blackboard, causing the chalk to fall. I'll listen to you. Li Xiang sat on the ground with a sinister expression on his face, and his teeth itched with hatred. However, when facing Wu Yang, he really couldn't get stubborn. The students swallowed their saliva. How did Wu Yang recognize that trash Jiangnan as his big brother? Just now, Jiangnan kicked him, but not only did Wu Yang not get angry at all, he even obeyed. Everyone looked at Jiangnan differently. At this moment, a long-haired beauty in a miniskirt sneaked out of the classroom. Seeing that Wu Yang was here, she joyfully said, Brother Wu. Do you want to team up with me? Last year, my teammates didn't want me anymore. Wu Yang looked at Jiangnan. She is Tang Qinya, a black iron 9-star wood ability user, you see. Jiangnan was stunned. Winnie. Pooh. Wasn't this the sister I met in the corridor that day? Tang Qinya looked at Wu Yang, who asked for Jiangnan's opinion and was also surprised. Why would Wu Yang ask Jiangnan? As soon as she heard Jiangnan speak, Tang Qinya's face flushed red. She said angrily, I didn't wear Winnie. Pooh today. Jiangnan said, I don't believe it. Tang Qinya, it really isn't a Winnie. Pooh. I don't care if you don't believe it. She was so anxious that she stomped her feet. Even if he didn't believe it, she couldn't show it to him. From Tang Qinya's resentment value +3. Jiangnan was amused. This girl was a little cute. Sure. No problem. Wu Yang smiled and nodded. He bent down to pick up the school uniform that had exploded to pieces and swaggered out of the classroom. But Jiangnan's body froze slightly. When Wu Yang bent down just now, he clearly saw a dazzling color at the back of his waist. Brother. Were you serious? You were still wearing it. Did he awaken some strange hobby? Jiangnan shivered. He regretted his decision just now. Li Xiang stood up with a gloomy face. He walked to Jiangnan and said coldly, once you enter Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins, you will know how powerful I am. Jiangnan shrugged, I really don't know where you got this sense of superiority from. Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins. I am looking forward to it. Chapter 28. Jiangnan said that the team you are listening at novel full.audio. They were all classmates, and Jiangnan did not want to be too extreme. But Li Xiang repeatedly looked for trouble. Jiangnan felt that it was time to teach him a lesson. During lunch in the canteen, Jiangnan had just entered the canteen when he saw a muscular man stand up and greet him, Brother Nan. Here. The loud voice attracted everyone's attention in an instant. Damn. Did I hear it wrong? That fierce Wu Yang is calling Jiangnan Brother Nan. You don't know, he went to class 1 in the morning, and now he recognizes Jiangnan as his big brother. It can't be, right? Have you seen the Weibo? The underpants Wu Liang wore in the morning. And now he is so close to Jiangnan. Although Jiangnan is a little trash, he is handsome. Could the two of them be? The few of them looked at each other. The rotten girl's eyes next to them flashed and began to whisper to each other. Between the two of them, who attack? Who defend? Didn't you see Weibo? The F***K me Wu Liang is so obvious. I didn't expect that the sunny and handsome Jiangnan is actually the attacker. Tisk, tsk. In order to achieve a good result in the final exam, Jiangnan is unscrupulous and sold his soul. As he walked over and listened to the whispers, Jiangnan's face turned black. It was true that was hard to study, but what the hell were they thinking about? Who the hell sold his soul? If the soul could be sold for money, Jiangnan would have sold it. The shameless Jiangnan came to Wu Liang. He was so considerate that he had even prepared food for Jiangnan. What's wrong, brother Nan? Did someone provoke you? If you can't make a move, tell your brother. I'll help you teach him a lesson. Jiangnan had a worried look on his face, but his mood gradually improved when he looked at the Pooh Bear, who was peeking at him. Big guy, are you studying well? Wu Liang was stunned and looked proud. Every time I take the exam, I will use my strength to tell everyone. After hearing this, Jiangnan almost threw the bowl of rice. Was it the last place? Jiangnan said with a dark face, at the end of this semester, you have to rush to the third place in the cultural exam. Do you understand? Wu Liang patted his chest and said, the third last. No problem. Jiangnan, . The number 3. Wu Liang glared at him, brother Nan. Are you crazy? Even if you put the book in my head now, I won't be able to get the third place. Jiangnan rolled his eyes and said, it's fine if you have muscles all over your body, but do you also have muscles over your head? You have to be in the top 3. Otherwise, don't follow me. Wu Liang looked wrong. Why? Jiangnan, have you considered your future? If you continue to live like this, you will inherit the family business and become a local tyrant. Is your life coming to an end here? The world is so wonderful. I want to go up and see. The higher, the better. The problem is, can you keep up? Wu Liang was silent. He knew that Jiangnan was doing this sincerely for his own good. Jiangnan said in a muffled voice, the top 3 of the grade will go to Songjiang's martial spirit school. Wu Liang was stunned. He finally understood what Jiangnan meant. He also understood how profound the meaning of Jiangnan's sentence of following me was. Bang! Wu Liang's face turned red, and he slapped the table. F***ck. I'm done. The sudden loud noise caused the entire canteen to fall silent. Jiangnan looked at his rice bowl that had been shaken to the ground. Brother! Do you have to be so F***king hot-blooded? I haven't even eaten a single bite. Tang Qianya, who was startled by the side, said weakly, I can help tutor brother Wu in his studies. Wu Liang was touched. This time, it's all up to you. If it really doesn't work, I'll find them one by one. Whoever dares to have higher than me, I'll hammer him. Jiangnan. Brother, with your last place position, will you hammer the entire grade one by one? The amount of work was a bit big. Wu Liang, who had finished eating, started his learning mode. He glared at the book, wishing he could stare at it to death. Jiangnan was gratified. It was not without reason that he was looking for Wu Liang. First of all, this guy was really resistant to beating. In addition, he was honest, not bad, and did not have so many thoughts. Through the battle with Wu Liang, one could see the tenacity of his will. No matter how many times he was knocked down, he would try to stand up. This was very valuable. And that sentence, as long as I, Wu Liang, am still standing, I will never let you get hurt, was the reason why Jiangnan chose him. Taking advantage of the lunch break, the school began broadcasting the team list. A gentle female voice sounded from the radio. Ocean Star team member. Wang Mengfan, Li Jinlong, Lu Yang, Su Yang. The only team member. No madness, no life team members. Prosperity, democracy, friendship, and harmony team members. Jiang City Yang Song team members. I go in with my Go-Go team members. Sister announcer has already begun to vomit, and her speech has also started to be a little stuttering. Why was their team name like this? She can't help but curse in my heart. What kind of weird team name was this? Teacher, dot. Principal, dot. Looking at the long list below, Sister's head was buzzing. She could finally see a normal team name. Striving to become first team members. Li Xiang, Li Mayan, Lu Chuanwu, Ling Feng. As soon as the team came out, discussions broke out. It's a seeded team. 2 great mages. 1 close combat, 1 shield warrior. The damage output is off the charts. Li Xiang is a 3-star bronze rank. Li Mayan is also sure to be a bronze rank before the final exam. 2 bronze rank magic users. TSK. Ling Feng is very strong. Lu Chuanwu's beast transformation rhinoceros is also a heavy armor tank. He's invincible. The first place is stable. Li Xiang sat in the front row of the class and turned his head to look at Jiangnan provocatively. Li Mayan had to get a good result for this semester's examination. She continued to read team names, and then the voice of the broadcasting girl suddenly paused. Then, she said with resentment, Jiangnan said that the team member. Jiangnan. Wu Yang. Tang Qianya, from Zhang Hong's resentment points plus 999. Pfft. What did Jiangnan say? Are you all right? It doesn't matter what he says. He is right anyway. Ha ha ha. This team name is so showy. That not just showy, it's the showiest. Wu Yang sat in the class and gave a thumbs up. Brother Nan is Brother Nan. He is so cultured. Tang Qianya covered her face. No. This was too shameful. Lu Chuanwu sneered, TSK, 1 Wu Yang with 2 burdens. Amazing. I was wondering why there were only 3 people. So it's Wu Yang team. Before Lu Chuanwu could finish, Jiangnan said, if you dare to say one more word, do you believe that I will beat you now? As he spoke, Jiangnan stood up with a chair in his hand and a brilliant smile on his face. He even reached out and took out a brick from the alternate dimension. The students were all stunned. The normally listless Jiangnan actually counterattacked. Lu Chuanwu's expression was incomparably ugly. At that moment, the teacher walked in. Jiangnan, what are you doing with a brick? Ah. I don't have a ruler in drawing a line, so I use a brick. From the teacher's resentment value plus 666. Chapter 29. Golden Age Beauty Pill. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. As he spoke, Jiangnan really used a brick to draw a line. Li Xiang, Li Mayan, and the others all had ugly expressions. I'll let you show off first. When the time for Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins arrives, they will look at how Jiangnan suffers. After school, he went home and passed by the barbecue stall. He found that business was hot. Many young people were standing in front of the stall and Scarface and his lackey were enthusiastically helping to carry the dishes. What was going on? When the group of people saw Jiangnan for the first time, they all bowed and shouted, "Hello, Brother Nan." In a split second, whether they were eating or strolling, their eyes instantly focused on Jiangnan. Jiangnan, Aunt Zhou greeted him warmly, Xiaonan is here. Yuqing, hurry up and greet him. Jiangnan had a puzzled expression, this group of people. Aunt Zhou smiled bitterly, don't mention it. They came over in the afternoon and insisted on helping. If I reject them they will kneel down. I can't refuse them. Xiao Nan, look. Jiang Nan glanced at the scar-faced man. This fellow quivered and smiled bashfully. Fine. It was probably Wu Liang's masterpiece. It's okay, Auntie Zhou. Just treat them as a worker and order them around. If there are any who are disobedient, give me a call. This alley is also quite messy. With them here, it can also suppress the situation. Auntie Zhou, that's so embarrassing. Zhou Yuqing also blushed, we don't need so many people. But thank you, brother Jiang Nan. Jiang Nan rubbed her head lovingly, has anyone bullied you recently? Zhou Yuqing smiled sweetly and said, no, they are all very kind. Jiang Nan chuckled. When he returned home and passed by Uncle Wang's house, Jiang Nan looked curiously into the yard. He found Wang Kai lying listlessly in front of the kennel. This dog had lost a lot of weight. A few female dogs were lining up outside the kennel. Auntie Zhou's Guoguo wagged her tail and barked excitedly. Wang Kai said weakly, Wang. Then, Guoguo grabbed Wang Kai's tail and dragged him into the kennel. Wang Kai's face was full of despair. Guoguo came out with a face full of reluctance. She wagged her little tail and left. Just as Wang Kai crawled out of the kennel with trembling legs, a big wolf dog came forward and dragged him back. Wang Kai could not resist at all. Looking at the 7 to 8 female dogs lined up behind him, Jiang Nan shuddered. Wang Kai, you should pray for your own good fortune. I can only help you this much. It seemed that Reiki leak indeed had side effects that you would be physically weak. It should be like this. Well, it was time to put Reiki leak sale on the agenda. When Jiang Nan returned home, he began to draw again. After saving for 3 days, his resentment value reached over 310,000 points. Then, another 20 bundles of Reiki leak appeared. Jiang Nan was so angry that he cursed. The third time, it was actually a winning prize. Thank you for your patronage. A consolation prize, Hulk Pants. Congratulations on winning. 1 Golden Age Beauty Pill. Congratulations on winning. 1 Golden Age Beauty Pill. Thank you for your patronage. Jiang Nan was stunned. Not only did he get a new consolation prize, but he also got 2 winning prizes. Thinking about the powerful effect of the cleansing fruit, Jiang Nan was faintly excited. He quickly checked the effect. Golden Age Beauty Pill. Effect. After consuming, it will improve your appearance, allowing you to have the golden age of beauty. Flawless. Jiang Nan was stunned. He had thought that it would be a spiritual bead, or an upgrade potion or something like that, which would be used to increase his strength. But what the hell was the Golden Age Beauty Pill? A plastic surgery pills. What did this have to do with increasing strength? No. Wasn't beauty also a type of strength? As the saying goes, beauty will win. It was also a skill to rely on face to eat. Jiang Nan's eyes lit up. He sat in front of the mirror nervously and touched his face. I'm already handsome enough. There's nothing I'm not satisfied with. However, he still took out a Golden Age Beauty Pill and swallowed it. It was sweet and had the taste of white rabbit milk candy. Then, Jiang Nan felt his face begin to itch. He felt a wave of worry in his heart. Would he be disfigured? Would he explode on the spot? The system made Jiang Nan feel extremely nervous. Half an hour later, Jiang Nan looked at himself in disbelief in the mirror. Star-like eyebrows, sharp eyes, a high nose, and lips raised. His pair of black eyes seemed to contain the sea of stars, which was enough to suck away the heart of any girl. His skin was smooth, tender, and white, and he had an unruly and free temperament. Coupled with his aggressive buzz cut, he smiled lightly. That was like a Cupid's arrow. That's not right. It was Cupid's Gatling. It was an area of effect damage. His appearance was still the same as before. Just a slight adjustment had caused such a huge change. Jiang Nan rubbed his face. Handsome. 2F** King handsome. He still didn't know that a person could be this handsome. Lady killer. The rich woman's little puppy. With this handsome and compelling face, it was enough to kill any first-rate male star in the entertainment circle instantly. I love it. Jiang Nan slowly clenched his fists, his face full of determination. It's time to buy a copy of How to Win the Heart of a Rich Woman. Then, Jiang Nan looked at the new consolation prize. Hulk Pants, Effect. Bug Grade Underwear. The ups and downs of life are all for you. It will change along with the change in the person's body shape wearing it. Jiang Nan swallowed his saliva. In the movie, when Hulk transforms and bursts his clothes, even he can't burst his underpants. No matter what kind of battle happened, his underpants were still firm. Did Hulk pants have the same effect? Amazing, super amazing. It was simply the blessing of the beast. Transformation ability martial spirit warrior. As for the side effects, it was not like he would wear it himself, so Jiang Nan did not consider this. Let Wu Yang try it first. After all, that scene was still lingering in Jiang Nan's mind. At a glance, the styles for men and women were different so that they could be sold to anyone. At this time, Reiki Leak also entered the system store. 300 points of resentment value per bundle. Jiang Nan. At that moment, his phone suddenly rang. It was a video call from Wolf Extinction. Jiang Nan pressed the answer button. In the video, Xia Yao held Zhong Yingshue's arm and smiled happily. The two seemed very noisy, as if they were on the street. Xiao Nan. Come out and eat. Your sister is happy today, and she is treating. Zhong Yingxue also smiled gently. Xiao Nan, what do you want to eat today? Seeing the two beauties, Jiang Nan's mood immediately became cheerful. Where are the two of you? I'll go over right now. However, Xia Yao curled her lips and said, Xiao Nan. You're a grown man, and you still use the phone to have a beautiful face. You even use it to the max, right? Turn it off. You're so handsome that I'm going to be blind. Jiang Nan. Turn off. Still quibbling. Xiaoxue, are all phones so terrifying now? Zhong Yingxue rolled her eyes and ignored Xia Yao. The two of us will wait for you at the Century Plaza. Jiang Nan, all right. I'll go over right now. Jiang Nan, who had turned off the video, had a helpless expression on his face. Wasn't this unfair to others, right? Alter. My beautiful face was not altered, okay? Chapter 30. Sudden explosion. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Jiang Nan was preparing to go out to eat with Xia Yao and Zhong Yingxue. On the other hand, Wu Yang studied hard at home and did not eat dinner. Father Wu was shirtless and stepped into Wu Yang's room. Son, eat the meal. Your mother just made it. Before he could finish speaking, he saw Wu Yang, who was lying on the table doing questions, and his eyeballs almost popped out. You. What are you doing? Oh. He must be doing graffiti on that books. Students like to do this. He walked in and took a look. He was actually doing a question. Son. Are you crazy? Are you really studying? He looked at the thick pile of reference books on the table, 5 years of college entrance examination and 3 years of simulation. Wu Yang's face darkened. Dad, hurry up and eat. Don't disturb my studies. I still have to get into the top 3 of my grades at the end of the term. Father Wu was stunned and said anxiously, top 3 in your grade. What about the high school dropout you promised me? I dropped out of high school and do bad things. Only when I become street gangsters can my dad be at ease. Wu Yang looked disgusted. I don't want to live a smooth life like this. Father Wu was worried. Did you suffer a blow? Tell Dad who it is. I'll get someone to. Wu Yang got up and pushed him out. Dad. I want to study. Don't disturb me. Father Wu stood outside the door, his face full of doubts. Wife. Did our son have a strange illness? Mother Wu asked, what happened to our son? He's actually studying. He even wants to get into the top 3 of his grade. Mother Wu scolded with a dark face, I think you are sick. Hurry up and get over here to eat. On the street, Jiang Nan was wearing oversized pants and small slippers. He was wearing a Sailor Moon's short sleeves. He was really fancy. The rate of looking back at him on the way was simply explosive. Up to 80 years old, down to 13 years old. My God! This little brother is so handsome. My eyes can't move away for a moment. He is so handsome. Could it be a male star? Even a star is not as handsome as him, okay. Hurry up and take a photo. I already turned into his fan. The buzz cut looks good on him. I want to ask his WeChat. There were a lot of whispers along the way. Not only the women but even the men couldn't help but look back at Jiang Nan when they saw him. When he reached the Century Plaza, Jiang Nan was asked for his WeChat 17 times and photos 3 times. Jiang Nan has added them all. The WeChat friend circle was an important source of resentment. How could Jiang Nan let it go? Xiao Nan. Here. Zhou Yingxue stood under the street lamp and waved her hand. Today, Zhou Yingxue was wearing a sky-blue dress, and her white sandals revealed her little pink feet. Her black hair was tied into a ponytail, simple yet not lacking in beauty. She was gentle and generous. Xia Yao, on the other hand, was much more enthusiastic. She wore a black tube top, a white jacket, and denim hot pants. Her long legs were extremely eye-catching. When the 3 of them gathered together, they immediately attracted the attention of many people, and they all looked at each other. Xia Yao looked at Jiang Nan in surprise and rubbed her eyes. Oh my God, I haven't seen you for only a few days. How come you be so handsome? Have you eaten papaya? Jiang Nan. Glancing at Xia Yao's chest, Jiang Nan curled his lips. You are the one who eats too much papaya, right? Xia Yao bared her teeth and reached out her claws to rub Jiang Nan's face. From Xia Yao's resentment points plus 333. Wow! His skin was so smooth and so white. Xia Yao was a little envious. Tell me. How did you do it? Jiang Nan said seriously, no. I just washed my face. Xia Yao let go with a look of disgust. How long has it been since you washed your face? Why did you change so much after just washing your face? Who are you trying to scare? Zhou Yingxue smiled, my Xiaonan has a good foundation. He deserves to be handsome. Let's go and eat hot pot. Jiang Nan chuckled. This was a real sister. But why does it sound so weird? He deserves to be handsome. Why did you think of eating out today? Jiang Nan asked casually. Zhou Yingxue smiled, can't I miss you? Xia Yao chuckled and said, the one surnamed Luo took 2 weeks off. I finally don't have to be bothered going to school anymore. Your sister is just happy. Jiang Nan and Xia Yao looked at each other like 2 thieves and gave each other a high five. Zhou Yingxue looked suspicious, why do I feel that you two are hiding something from me? No. I swear on my heart and my conscience. Xia Yao touched her chest, and Jiang Nan rolled his eyes. Give up, Sister Xia Yao. You can't touch your conscience. The distance was too far. As she spoke, Jiang Nan took out a big white rabbit creamy candy from his pocket and stuffed it into Zhou Yingxue's hands. Here's candy for you. Eat it when you get home. Zhou Yingxue looked at the big white rabbit creamy candy in her hands and was stunned. Memories flooded over like the tide. Let's go and eat. But Xia Yao also stretched out her small hand, where's mine? I want to eat sugar too. Jiangnan curled his lips, disobedient children don't have candy to eat. Xia Yao was so angry that her teeth itched. She pounced on him with another chokehold, making Jiangnan roll his eyes. Are you going to give it to me? Jiangnan, I really don't have any. Just this one. I'll give it to you next time. Next time. As he spoke, he whispered to Xia Yao, I found a shield warrior. When I get first place, I'll bring him over for the two of you to see. Xia Yao was stunned, and then she chuckled, first place. So confident. You never entered the spirit ruins before, right? Jiangnan curled his lips, TSK. With my looks alone, would a spirit beast be willing to hurt me? Boo. Shameless. You can't decide that. Zhou Yingxue turned around and asked curiously, what are you two secretly talking about? Xia Yao and Jiangnan shook their heads like a rattle-dot drum. Zhou Yingxue looked puzzled and was about to ask something. Right at this moment, they heard something. Boom. A loud sound rang out. The flames that shot into the sky swept through the entire night sky, instantly lighting it up as bright as day. The loud noise even shattered the glass of the residential building. There was a big explosion in Walmart 2 blocks away. The crowd was panicking and trying to avoid the broken glass falling everywhere. Looking at the mall, the fire was raging and had swallowed 2 floors in the blink of an eye. The billowing black smoke was very shocking, and the air was filled with a burnt smell. The 3 people looked at each other, their eyes full of horror. How could such a powerful explosion happen in the mall? It was not a chemical factory, right? Moreover, there were many civilians in the mall, and it should be at its peak at night. If such a thing happened, the consequences would be serious. Jiangnan had a solemn expression on his face, let's go. Let's go take a look. Zhou Yingxue and Xia Yao were also solemn when everyone fled in panic or took out their mobile phones to take pictures. The 3 of them went against the current. As martial spirit warrior, they possessed a power that ordinary people did not have. In the face of danger and unknown, they had the responsibility and obligation to rush to the forefront. Even if they could not help, they could at least do something within their power.